All of our guys for working hard. Couldn't really do much overnight, but I mean, 2 days ago they got to the shop on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. and they left the next day at 8 a.m. Right, so they were there all night, working over 24 hours straight, just trying to get all these 5 cars, race-winning capable cars to the racetrack on time. Just really proud of everybody's effort, working so hard. And I was definitely upset yesterday, not getting the pole to a teammate is something that I can't do right now, trying to set myself up for next year. So I knew today I had to do some, just put on a clinic and do the best I could. Kind of hit some weird lap traffic. I get air moves around a lot here, and it's pretty tricky. I feel like that lost us the lead, and then just had to get it back on restarts and then maintain with air being king here. So I think I could still, if I needed to, pass in dirty air, but it was a lot easier out front.
Excellent. If you have a question for Jesse, we'll get you a mic. We'll start in the middle. Kyle Magline Racing Media. Can you talk a little bit about battling with the 2 car there? He got around you there, and then you got back around him, and then you're just able to hold off there. I know the 18 got second there, and then you were just able to basically outrun him there.
Yeah, their package is a lot different than ours. I assume it makes a lot more short run speed with how they have their pans and their side pans and all that stuff. So I knew they were gonna be really fast on a short run. Figured they'd burn the right front off of it after a while, and not have a lot of drag on the straightaways. So it was kind of hard to break away from him with how much big of an air bubble we punch here. So it was tricky. Losing the lead, just miscalculation, navigation on my end. Getting around that 06. Figured he'd just, give me the top, and he kind of just went the middle and weren't really sure where he was going to go, so just had to go to the extreme top. And I didn't think I was going to wreck, but it was pretty sketchy with how slimy it was up there. Hasn't been worked in. It's a bunch of marbles hitting the crush panels, so lost lead there, and I can kind of, start to inch back closer to him. But you lose so much time in the tunnel behind somebody, you have to kind of time your runs, and he wasn't hitting any lap traffic, so I couldn't really, even the playing field out much. But once we kind of got out of clean air, I knew I decided to run my race, talking to Shannon at under yellow about, right front tire wear. The straightaways here are so long, you can't really get away with much camber. So inside of our tire was, a little worn down, and had to kind of save until that last, 10 lap to go stint. I just wanted to get as big of a bubble as I could, so that if, some craziness happened with a lap car again, that I could still have a big enough of a bubble to kind of eliminate, all odds kind of not winning.
Thank you.
Shane at the Underground Sports. Jesse, what was your thought process once you fell behind the 2 in the 18 car? And walk me through that strategy on how you was able to come back and get this win today.
I'll tell you what was stressful was when the 03 was lining up on the front row. I was like, oh my gosh. And he got the damn restart of his life. And I was really screaming off at turn 1. I was so pumped. And good job to him for getting a good jump. And then he kind of peeled off and made it so I didn't really have to pull out a line. And that was the sketchy part. But yeah, like you said, falling behind here is probably the worst place to do that. You go to a place like Kansas, you move around. When you get around them, Charlotte, you move around. Michigan, you move around. So here, you can kind of move around 1 and 2. You can kind of move around in 3 and 4. But turn 2, you're stuck, right? It's all turn. So it's so hard to. You have to be a lot faster than somebody to pass them in dirty air. So I knew just have to wait for restarts. That was kind of the thing that kept me relevant last year. Here was restarts, and I feel like that's what's been my biggest strength in general throughout my career, is just restarts and stuff like that. So I knew that once I got a restart, I could just work air really hard, and as long as I had positive momentum going into 1 and had my headlight out, that he wasn't going to be able to put on my door and stop me around. So yeah, restarts were the biggest thing, and I think that was kind of what won us the race. Obviously you can have a 3/10 slower car or even car, but if you're in clean air, it's huge.
You got a question? Right here in the middle.
Hey Jesse, Eddie.